'Tis the season to be jolly. La 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 la. Yes, it is the season to be jolly. Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my best series for this jolly good year. Number 10, Bface. This one follows the story of a woman that is like a human lie detector. She can tell when people are lying, and she kind of uses it like a superpower, not necessarily a superpower, but she uses it to solve crimes and stuff like that. It's like a mystery crime story, but with a very, very unconventional twist. And that was something that immediately hooked me with this story. The storytelling of this series was very, very interesting. And the fact that we're always getting different stories, different characters in every episode was something that made it even much more interesting to me. I love the overall concept of it, how they incorporated the lie detector shit of this woman and everything that just came together with it. And the fact that there were different characters just gave chance for different new actors to just come into place. The performance in this show was great. The storytelling was amazing. Everything came together brilliantly and worked so well for this film. Number 9, The Power. When I saw the trailer of this film, I was immediately intrigued because it's a show that tells the story of the power dynamics between men and women. When women get the power to control the world, so to speak, it was something that really fascinated me because a topic that I've always thought about. Like, if women had the power to physically overpower men, what would that world be like? And that was what this show explores, and it explores it brilliantly. The shift in the power dynamics was something that I really loved seeing. The storytelling was amazing, and the fact that they were telling the story of different women all over the world was something that just added to the overall brilliance of it, because we are seeing women or characters from all over the world, and that just gave the film a much more deeper dynamic. The storytelling was amazing, the characters were well developed, and everything just worked brilliantly for this film. And the way the season ended was in a very, very good way, and it just made me connect more with the story. Number 8, Loki season 2. When I watched Loki season 1, I loved it immediately because it was a Marvel show that I didn't think I was going to get. And the way it was delivered, it was just done in a very, very intriguing and interesting way. But then they brought season 2. Even though the story was much more different from the first one, it was still a very, very intriguing and exciting story. The character development was incredible. Seeing where the character started from season 1 and where they got to in season 2, that is impressive character development. And man, that was one thing that made me appreciate it. Along with the character development, the performances were stellar. Tom Hiddleston's performance as Loki was impeccable. Not just him, all the other characters, all the other actors also, they gave fantastic performances. And the way this film balanced intense moments with moments of humor was something that was done in a very, very unique and interesting way. Like the fact that Marvel movies always drown their films in comedy was something that was not seen in this place. They balanced it very well. They balanced the humor and the drama together in a very, very perfect way. And it was something that made me appreciate this show so much. Number 7, She Must Be Obeyed. She Must Be Obeyed is a Nigerian series that I loved so much. Man, the Nigerian movie industry has been doing so well. And this show is testament to how good they've become. The storytelling was intriguing and captivating. There was some plot twists in this film that was done in a very, very brilliant way and added to the brilliance of this film. The songs in the film were catchy, the film was funny, everything worked with this film. Although I had some little issues with it, but I loved a lot of things that they did with it. The songs, the comedy, the performances. Man, the performances, especially from Funke Akindele, like wow, it was incredible. Everything just came together brilliantly and worked fantastically well for this film. Number 6, The Night Agent. Before I watched this show, I had a thinking in my mind that this show was not going to be something special. It was not going to blow me away or anything. But I just watched it to watch it. But when I watched it, man, I was so delighted by what I got. The storyline was a very, very intricate and detailed storyline. The way all the different plots came together was something that was done in a very, very intriguing, mind-blowing way. The storytelling was intense and exciting. The fight sequences in this film were very, very realistic. I saw some of the most realistic fight sequences I've ever seen in film in this show. And man, it was so good to see those things. The performances also were so good. Man, a lot of things worked for this film. Like, this film didn't have any right to be as good as it was. But man, it was so good, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Number 5, Beef. This one follows the story of two people that were involved in a road rage incident. And man, this show was brilliant. The writing was incredible. The story was fantastic and engaging. The performances from all the actors were fantastic. And the way they blended the comedy and the drama was something that was done in a very, very good way. They didn't outweigh each other, and it was well balanced. Everything that came to work together for this film worked brilliantly. I enjoyed this show much more than I thought I would enjoy it. Number 4, GenV. This one is a spin-off show of The Boys, and if you've watched The Boys, you know what kind of show that is. And when I knew that this was a spin-off show of it, I went into this show expecting the same level of craziness that I got in The Boys, and man, I was not disappointed. This show delivered. The characters were well developed, interestingly flawed characters. Their powers were done in a very, very unique way. Their powers we've seen before, powers that everyone has seen before, but the way they explored it was done in a very, very unique way. The dynamics between the kids and their parents was something that was very, very interesting to see. This story is much more than just superheroes doing superhero shit and exploding heads and all that thing. It's a very, very deep story, and the way it was explored was a very, very fantastic way. Number three, Ted Lasso. If you know me, you know how much I love this show. Ted Lasso from season 1 to season 2 and season 3 has been fantastic. I love the way they were telling the stories and everything that just came together for this show. It was such a brilliant show. The storytelling was very, very heartwarming. The characters were incredible, lovable characters. And one thing I loved the most about this show was that when I watched this show, I always felt the need to be a better person because just seeing how these characters were acting and being themselves was just very, very inspiring. And anytime I watch this show, I just feel like I need to be the best version of myself just because of this show. And that's one thing that just makes me love and appreciate the show so much. And the way this third season rounded up was something that was done in a very, very satisfying way. And that thing I loved was the character arcs. Look at where the character started from in season 1 and where they ended up in season 3. Like, that is character development. And that is what I like to see. Number 2, The Last of Us. This show was released in January this year, and it was, I think, the first show HBO released this year. And man, this show did not let me down. I've been expecting it since last year, and when I finally got it, I was mind blown. The storytelling in this film was incredible. Very, very interesting, immersive stories. And the fact that we're just following these two characters in this chaotic world was something that just made me connect more with the story. Seeing all the things that these characters went through, seeing all the people that they met and lost was something that made me appreciate this show so much. The way characters were dying left and right. When you connect with one character, that's when the character is going to die. That was something that I loved about it. The storytelling, the performances, the use of music, the cinematography. Everything worked brilliantly for this series. And I loved it so, so much. Number 1, drum roll. Succession! Man, Succession season 4 was the best show I saw this year, without a doubt. The absolute best show. Not just even Succession of season 4, like I can say Succession in general is one of the best shows I have ever seen in my life. This story was a very, very interesting, captivating story. The fact that we're talking about some business mumbo jumbo that I did not understand, and I could still relate with the things that the characters were doing and the actions the characters were taking was something that made me really appreciate this show so much. The storytelling, the characters, the plots, man, everything came together brilliantly. But the performances from the actors, the performances were incredible. Like performances that when you're watching, you'll be doubting, like, are these people acting? Are they acting or this is a real shit? Like, that is how good and how convincing the performances were. Not just that, the writing was brilliant. It was thought provoking, and the way they explored some themes of wealth and power and all those things was done in a very, very interesting and captivating way. There were so many things I loved about this show, and the way this show ended in season 4, the way they rounded up this whole story was done in a very, very satisfying way. Like, that is where all those characters should have ended. Where they all ended was the best place for them to end, and how it just wrapped up was just so, so satisfying for me. And I love this show. It's one of those shows that gets better and better as it progresses, and when they wrapped it up in the final season, they knocked it out of the park. This show was fantastic. So those are my 10 best series of this jolly good year. What are the best series you saw this year? Comment below and let me know. Is this your first time on my channel? My guy, why have you not subscribed since all these days? Or if you not subscribe before we enter next year, we'll get problem. Subscribe now. Join me on this train for interesting movie related content. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. The next video is a very, very special video, and I know you should look forward to it. See you in the next video. Cheers.